Canada orders new CMAR rifle family from Colt Canada to replace 35-year-old C7, C8 rifles. The Defence Investment Agency in Kitchener, Ontario, the award launches a new phase in Canada's small arms modernization effort after more than 35 years of C7 and C8 service. The Canadian Modular Assault Rifle Initiative is aimed not only at fielding a new family of rifles, but also at testing whether Canada can buy core military equipment faster while keeping industrial benefits anchored at home. The contract awarded to Colt Canada covers up to 65,402 assault rifle systems, giving the CMAR initiative a scale that goes well beyond a limited fleet renewal. Ottawa presents the program as the modern replacement for the existing C7/C8 inventory and states that the new rifles are intended to improve the awareness, protection, and reliability of deployed Canadian Armed Forces members. This language is notable because it shows that CMAR is being framed as a full system modernization effort rather than a narrow weapon substitution. The contract includes not only the rifles themselves but also system integration and engineering support, indicating that the Canadian government views the future rifle family as part of a broader operational capability package designed to better match the realities of contemporary service conditions. The structure of the contract offers a clearer picture of that ambition. Phase 1 covers the procurement of 30,000 general service rifles over a 3-year period, with an estimated value of approximately $307 million Canadian dollar, including applicable taxes. Phase 2, expected to begin in year 4 under an optional provision, would cover the remaining 19,207 general service rifles, 16,195 full-spectrum rifles, and associated ancillaries. The official release also clarifies the intended role split between the two main categories. The full-spectrum rifle is described as being intended for frontline combat roles and optimized for offensive operations in both urban and open terrain, while the general service rifle is intended for wider issue across the force as a reliable personal protection and deterrence weapon for personnel outside core combat functions. That distinction is central to understanding CMAR. Canada is not simply replacing one legacy rifle with another, but moving toward a more differentiated family of weapons configured around the operational diversity of its personnel. This modular logic marks an important evolution from the long-serving C7 and C8 fleet. Those rifles have equipped Canadian forces for decades and have become closely associated with the country's modern expeditionary and domestic operations, but their length of service also reflects the reality that a weapon system can remain institutionally central long after military requirements, ergonomic standards, and integration expectations have changed. The official announcement does not identify the exact model designation of the future rifle, but the overall structure of the program suggests that adaptability, supportability, and mission alignment are now being prioritized more explicitly than before. In that respect, CMAR reflects a broader shift seen in other NATO militaries, where service rifles are increasingly approached as modular systems capable of supporting different combat roles, user profiles, and accessory requirements within a single procurement framework. The procurement method itself is another key element of the story. According to the official release, the Defence Investment Agency deliberately advanced the CMAR file through a direct acquisition for asset replacement and used a risk-based approach to accelerate the procurement. That decision is presented as part of a wider attempt to streamline defense purchasing and reduce the time required to deliver equipment to the armed forces. The quick facts published alongside the announcement add that the program was advanced through the Munitions Supply Program, a long-standing framework used to maintain domestic sources of supply for ammunition, small arms, and related equipment. Together, these details make clear that the Canadian government wants CMAR to stand as an example of faster and more flexible procurement for essential capabilities. The rifle program is therefore not only about replacing a weapon that has reached the end of its service life, but also about demonstrating that Canada can move more quickly on high-priority defense requirements. The industrial message attached to the award is equally strong. Ottawa says the contract supports the recently announced defense industrial strategy and reinforces the government's commitment to invest in Canadian innovation. Colt Canada has committed to at least 80% Canadian content, while the government estimates that the contract will contribute roughly 10 million Canadian dollars annually to Canada's GDP over the next 5 years. The official release also states that the ammunition produced as part of the CMAR initiative will be made in Canada, extending the domestic benefit beyond the rifle platform itself. This is an important point because it shows that the government is using a standard service weapon replacement program to reinforce national industrial capacity, supply chain resilience, and longer-term sovereign support for the armed forces. Additional benefits are also expected under the Industrial and Technological Benefits Policy, which is meant to ensure that defense spending generates durable, high-value investments in Canada rather than only short-term procurement outputs. The CMAR award also carries institutional significance because it is part of the first wave of high-priority defense procurements to be implemented by the Defense Investment Agency. Ottawa says the agency will play a central role in aligning procurement with long-term military and industrial priorities, engaging industry earlier, and supporting innovation more directly. Seen through that lens, the rifle contract is being used to signal a broader transformation in how Canada intends to manage future acquisitions. The replacement of the C-7 and C-8 may seem modest compared with major naval or air programs, but individual weapons remain among the most visible and foundational tools of military effectiveness. Replacing them through a new procurement structure gives the government a highly tangible way to demonstrate progress on promises to rebuild, rearm, and reinvest in the Canadian Armed Forces. Canada's decision to launch CMAR has importance well beyond small arms modernization alone. It combines operational renewal, procurement reform, and industrial policy in a single program centered on one of the most basic pieces of soldier equipment. After more than 35 years of service from the C-7 and C-8 family, Ottawa is now preparing to field a new generation of rifle systems intended to better reflect the varied demands placed on modern military personnel. The significance of the program lies not just in the quantity of rifles being purchased, but in what the acquisition represents: a move toward a more modular force, a faster procurement model, and a defense industrial strategy that treats even the standard service rifle as a strategic capability.